All right, guys. So we back again. Hopefully, you guys caught the first episode. Man, I talked a lot about camaraderie, RP to my brother. Shout out to everybody who's still serving. I talked about the travel, man. I've been to at least 4, 5, 6, 7 different states. I've been to at least 4 different countries. I got to see some stuff, do some stuff, and there's also bad things about the Army, like I talked about last time. You up way too early. I told you about my story at the range. Missing out on stuff like anybody in the military can tell you, you're gonna miss out on a lot of things, man. A lot of divorces come from being in the Army. Honestly, let's just keep it a buck. But we're gonna jump into the next set of pros and cons for joining the Army.
Stand for something, you gonna fall for anything. Melanin Warriors. Let's go. M-E-L-A-N-I-N. Warriors. M-E-L-A-N-I-N. Warriors. M-E-L-A-N-I-N. Warriors. We Melanin Warriors. Melanin Warriors. I shade all my kings and queens. Melanin Warriors. Either you stand for something or fall for anything.
All right, so the first one I'm gonna say is you get a steady paycheck, man. Without fail, the first of the 15, you're gonna get paid. Now, how much you get paid is up to how much you make, as quick as you make it rank. I mean, even if you get married, you get a little bit more money or whatever, man. So you know what I'm saying? So you get it. And I was fortunate to find my wife while I was in AIT. We're still together now, going on 15 years, man. But anyway, you get your money and it's gonna hit without fail. Even if there's some mistakes, eventually you'll get it. I'm gonna go into the cons of the money piece at another time, but eventually you get it. But one thing's for sure, financially you will be taken care of. You'll be able to take care of your family. You'll be able to pay your bills. As long as the powers that be do what they're supposed to do, your money gonna be straight. And if anything is out of whack, this is my tip. I'm gonna give you my tip early today. If anything is messed up with your money, whether you get paid too much, you get paid too little, you need to go to your first line supervisor, your sergeant, your lieutenant, whoever your first line is. You need to get with them and get your money situated. So the next thing I'm gonna talk on is different kinds of weapons, man. Even some weapons I didn't even know about until maybe last year when I took the armor course that I went on. But I've had the privilege to shoot an AT-4. I've had the privilege to touch different sniper rifles. I've shot just about every machine gun, the Mark 19, which is a beautiful piece of machinery, M4, M16, SAW, 240 Bravo. I was actually a 240 Bravo gunner myself, man. And this one time we were shooting, we was doing night fire. Before we was deployed, they sent us to the field for like 3 or 4 days that time. So we was doing night fire. We was shooting the 50 cals. And I think this moment I can never recreate. I can't make this up. And I wish I could replay it or see it again online, but I've never seen it before again. We were shooting our 50 cals and the bullets actually touched at night. So you saw the spark, man. I mean, it was the dopest thing. We had our MBGs on. It was really, really cool, man. I think that was probably one of my favorite things to do in the military is shoot different kind of weapons, man. I've always been an avid person as far as my Second Amendment right and things like that, and shooting and things like that. And if you're looking to join the military, that's one pro I can honestly say. You get experience on different weapons if you're into, shooting and stuff. Don't be excessive with it, but really learn, take it in. It's a great experience. A lot of those weapons were actually fun to shoot. No, it is not fun to shoot at someone. Let me put that little PSA out there now. But just to be able to use these type of amazing machines in the military, seeing where, taxpayer dollars go as far as the defense of this country. It's amazing, man. I got to shoot all of these different type of weapons. So real quick, y'all put some in the comments, my military people. What have you shot? What haven't you shot? What you wish you would have shot? As we go ahead and move on to the negative side of the Army. So we're going to start off with, like I said, about the money, making sure your money piece is right. They will F up your money, people, when you join the Army. They will definitely do it. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens way more often than not. And it's a result of people not doing their job. Honestly, I'm just gonna keep it 100. I done had my money messed up twice. When I first got married, I wasn't receiving my BAH for like a month and a half or so. I did everything I was supposed to do, and that's one thing y'all need to know too. You're gonna do everything that you are supposed to do, and yet somebody higher than you will always drop that ball. Be prepared for somebody higher than you that's supposed to take care of business is not gonna take care of business. So make sure you cover yourself. But anyway, I didn't get BAH for like a month and a half. We was barely making rent, barely making groceries, what I'm saying, doing the best that we could. It was just me and my wife, luckily. And I was, sending money home to my children and everything like that before child support kicked in. But that's another story. But I was wondering what was going on. Nobody could give me no answers. They telling me to wait for this, wait for that, fill out this packet, fill out this packet. You're gonna fill out some packets and jump through some hoops. But eventually my first son, shout out to First Son Love, because First Son Love made sure that I got my BAH taken care of. And by the end of that day, my back pay was in my doggone check, man. So just make sure, like I said, you take care of your business, have your T's dotted and your I's crossed and all that good stuff like that, man, because they will mess up your money. Another story about them messing up my money, my last duty station, Mississippi. It's called an ARA, which is the civilian person who handles all the paperwork. Somehow, some way, my BAH rate for Atlanta carried over to Mississippi. And if anybody know anything about, what I'm saying, the cost of living, things like that, it's pretty fucking low in Mississippi. Excuse my French once again, but it's pretty low in Mississippi. And I was getting paid off BAH rate when I did all of my paperwork. They still hit me with it. I still had a debt. I still had to pay said debt, even if I appealed it. I even tried to appeal it, and my leadership would not sign off on my appeal because of some self-righteous whatever. We're gonna leave that what it is. It's already paid up. I'm retired now, so I'm not holding any grudges. But long story short, guys, one of the cons of the Army is they will mess up your money. So stay on top of your stuff, check your LES religiously, and just make sure your T's are dotted and your I's are crossed. You know what I'm saying? Another one is, like I mentioned before, people not doing their job. I think that irks me the most, not just in military, but all over. But since we're talking about the Army, we're going to talk about the Army not doing their job. People have a bad habit of not being where you're supposed to be, regardless of what section they're in. There's somebody in there that's not going to be doing what the fuck. I mean, excuse my French again. There's gonna be somebody who's not there doing what they're supposed to do. You'll have that 88 Mike with your truck driver. He's not properly doing his preventive maintenance checks on his vehicle. You got mechanics, which I was a mechanic. You got them saying they fix something, don't fix it, or they just sitting around waiting for somebody else to do it. Or you got those E2, 3s, and 4s who pretend like they don't know what they doing, knowing doggone well they do know what they doing. Then you have other sections like, the paperwork, like I mentioned in the last episode with your leave and stuff like that. I can't count when I was on active duty before they switched over how they do things, how many times a leave form got lost and I had to redo it like a day before my trip, plane tickets is paid for, and all because somebody dropped the ball. Another story of mine with the same unit that I just left, guys. Matter of fact, y'all might want to stay away from that unit, period. But anyway, when I retired, I did my retirement packet. It's a packet you get where you can get your certificate, your spouse to get their certificate if you have a spouse, and you get a flag and everything like that. I submitted everything like that in February. They messed it up 3 times, and I had to redo it twice for me to finally get it like a couple of weeks ago. If y'all see my TikTok, that's when I pretty much got my retirement certificate, all due to people not properly doing their job. They have a bad habit, in the Army that I've seen. They have a bad habit of passing it off. Oh, this is what I do, but this is not my job. This is what I do. This is not my job. Now, let me explain. When they say this is what I do, let's say it's a human resource thing. You know what I'm saying? Your pay is messed up, your leave messed up, something like that. You go to your person who's in charge of doing that. They can do everything and see everything, but they say, oh, because you're in this status, this isn't my job. This is that person's job. When it's so easy, it's so simple to just do it real quick, man. There's been a lot of times where I needed parts and I just needed somebody to press the button. That's a lot of times all you gotta do is click OK, click approve, click yes, whatever it is, and they would not get it done. It's been weeks later, but guess what? They'll find some way to blame it. I can't count in my last unit how many times Sergeant Fowler was the scapegoat for these people when they dropped the ball, and I would ask certain questions and they wouldn't have the answers for me because they weren't doing what they were supposed to do, but yet they try to blame the lowest rank. And that's something they will do, guys, for you newer soldiers in here. If you don't have some stand-up leadership, some real stand-up guys, which I've had some, and I've had some really crappy leadership. But if you got that crappy leadership, they'll throw you under the bus real quick because they only care about their money, they only care about their rank, they only care about their status. And some of them just, what I'm saying, let's just call it what it is. They ass kissers. They're gonna do whatever they gotta do for that higher rank, which we're gonna go over that another time, another day, as far as people, kissing ass in the Army, man. So, y'all put some in the comments. Y'all let me thank military people that's already in. If y'all got any experience on your pay or whatever kind of weapons you shot, or what I'm saying, people just not doing their job. I love to hear you guys' experience. And if you have any questions for me for the soldiers who's thinking about getting in, or the parents of the future soldiers that's thinking about getting in, y'all go ahead and put something in my comments, man. Or y'all can even message me directly on TikTok. It's your boy, Ashe.
Stand for something, you gonna fall Warriorz. 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 We Melanin Warriorz. Melanin Warriorz.